So before we get into this video, I just have to say, be careful of churches and your children in churches, because there are a lot of pedophilia going on in the churches and it's disgusting. Anyway, welcome to Crypto Angles podcast number 91. This is Bitcoin. Let's basically get into it. From my last video, we can see we've bounced off the golden pocket quite nicely, so we'll take a look at the astrological story to see what's going on and how the markets could be impacted at this point in time, but it's all looking healthy. So let's take a look at the last point. We're at the pretty much at the end of the month, people. We're moving into July. This is the July Pitre. Do grab this calendar if you wish. It only started in April as it follows the zodiac year, but we are entering into these energies that's coming up. We will be entering into our full moon phase starting Friday, when Neptune stations retrograde in Pisces. We'll be in our full moon stage then up until like the 16th of July, where price will like to find its new support zone and essentially bounce off of that area. So this window is open. I hope you can hear me and not the plane. But that's essentially what we're going to be looking at in this video. What else is popping up to me or sticking out? And I forgot to say, I'm a bit dissociative, forgive me. A lot of past traumas coming up. But I combine astrology of the sky with the crypto markets. It seems to align. Moon phases, all that shite. Don't believe me? See for yourself. Anyway, with our Lilith stationing retrograde in Aquarius, as well as we're entering into our full moon stage in Sag, which we'll talk about more on the 6th, and Neptune stationing retrograde as well. This is kind of telling me when it comes to our entrepreneurship, connections, things of that nature, we're going to have this deep passion and desire to kind of do that. So do keep in mind if any even crypto links or anything like that pops up. Yeah, keep that in mind, as well as whatever your actual dreams and visions are. You're going to be back testing to fill in the gaps when it comes to even this crypto market. And I do feel if you're watching this video, you will have some of these desires there. We're going to tap into that more like around, like not involving crypto, in a different video if you're more interested in that. But do keep that in mind. Your desires and passions are going to be exponented. Yeah, that's fine. Go and ask Sahliah for it, love. Yeah. It's going to be expanded, basically, and your dreams and passions when it comes to it as well. You're going to be filling the gaps so it can move forward. So if crypto is a part of that, then that should be happening as well. Which, just help her with it, okay? Thank you, darling. Okay, but she can have a little bit more, and so can you. Yes, so can you. All right. Yeah, and then forgive me, my children needed me, and they're more important than a video. So, the full moon in Sag, the fact that like its symbology is an arrow is just telling me once we're entering into July, the market will be moving. If you look at the setup that's going on, it's truly getting ready for that anyway. Looking at the Bitcoin stock to flow model, you can see we're in the yellow. We are taking a little dip, but we know what happens when the yellow starts to come. We go on and reach our tops, so we are very close to it. Do make sure, people, you grab this calendar if you'd like to support your girl, or if not, just simply like the video. That would help support me. But let's get back into the technical analysis anyway. So as I mentioned before, we touched nicely. We went back into the golden pocket and then we bounced back up on top of this parallel channel. If you've been following me for a while, this parallel channel has been going for Bitcoin for a really long time. When we had this little dippy dip back into it and people were like, oh no, the market's going in the red, it's going to die, it's not happening, it was super healthy. We needed this back retracement, and then we've come up again. What I do want to make sure we Look at this. So wick to wick, people. Just close this. Where's the... Come on, laptop, please. Where's the zoom? Why isn't it letting me zoom? Anyway, we'll zoom like this because the arrow's not there. So wick to wick. Price for Bitcoin wicked down, and look, we literally retested the highs of this wick. Very, very close to it, if anything, on it. Just shy of it. So we came back and essentially touched this last breakout zone, which again is healthy. Will we want to create an actual candle wick to touch that? I don't know. It all depends if we can hold this parallel channel, because I said if we can retest this zone, then that will be good. If we can't hold that, we'll retest this zone, which essentially would have still been okay. We'll still be creating higher lows. So that's something we do want to just keep in our peripheral vision. Though I don't feel it as likely, we do want to keep that in there, or especially if we want to come and retest this zone again, this last breakout, to create more of a candle wick structure. However, I do feel it's healthy that we've created the candle wicks on the top of the golden pocket where we retested nicely prior on the 5th of June. So I do feel it's going healthy. We went right back up into our 0.888 buying zone. And now we're hovering on top of this parallel channel quite nicely. So the question is, will we be able to hold this? When it comes to our moon phases, we did have our resistance at this level. It came in at this level, but this is when price was kind of like hovering here-ish. Yeah, no, well, yeah, here-ish. So yeah, the question is, will we get a higher full moon coming up? So as we had our full moon here, could we get our full moon coming up basically at the top of this parallel channel to essentially propel us upwards? There we go. To essentially propel us upwards. And the fact that it is Sagittarius, I'm keeping in mind two things that could potentially happen, and we'll recite it on the 6th anyway. But come on, laptop for me, babe. Come on, bab. We literally just slid over. It's not that deep. Oh. Okay. XRP. Just load. Don't know why it's struggling. I know why. It's a lot of shite. Anyway. We've the B of the T of the C of the coin. Come on, bub. There we go. So, well done, booba. Well done. So yeah, we just want to see that it is on this buying zone, but I'm not really liking we're creating higher lows. So essentially we do want to create a higher high, at least above 112k, 111k. Can we do that? Basically 112k Bitcoin would be amazing to know that continuation to the upside is happening. And once we can have minimum a daily candle, ideally a 3-day candle above 112k, then we're moving up to 120 to 130 very quickly. So that's something we do want to pay attention to. The fact that we're Sagittarius full moon, let me not even switch back before it just glitches again. But this telling me two things. It has precision, it has direction on where it's going to go. However, it being a bow and arrow, sometimes it needs to be pulled back in order to propel forward. So this is why I am keeping just an eye out. If we cannot hold these levels, if we do fall lower, my perspective is to gain our support. My perspective would be we're getting that pullback in order to gain our precision. However, we could fully gain our precision right here and get our full moon coming in when it decides to come in, not this cycle but next cycle. We could get it, and then that could just propel us forward. So I do feel essentially right now we may be playing with these levels before we can get our precision to go up. But looking at ZMACD, we are turning green, so that's just looking good and positive. And seriously, people, watch out for the predators in church, because it's just not good. It's not good at all. But looking at the RSI on Bitcoin, we came up quite nicely from this, and you can see there's a lot more room for it to go. So yeah, there's a lot more room. We've gone up quite a bit, so a little pullback won't be alarming. However, there's still much more room for it to go before we're in our overbought region, which essentially could bring us to our 1.618 target between that 120 to 130k Bitcoin. The dominance was slowly fading a little, but I don't believe it's done. So there's still a lot more movement when it comes to Bitcoin. And honestly, I'm channeling like through this. My eyes be closed at times. What do we want to look at? Let's just take a look at some of these ribbons. Yes, this is looking healthy for the SMAs. For the SMAs, it's looking very healthy. The 200 is underneath for Bitcoin, the 8 and the 50 and the 50. So this 8 could literally give it its momentum it needs, coinciding with the full moon as well coming soon. Let's take a look at our EMAs. Looking beautiful. 200 way below here. They are tight together, giving it the support it's potentially needed to go on up. I haven't used the luminary alignments for a while, the luminary moving averages, because oftentimes on the daily they're a bit low, but the fact that Uranus is underneath and Saturn is above just shows, or it's extra confirmation that we've got our upward momentum en route. So that's basically it for the B of the T of the C of the coin. Let's just take a look at the Bollinger Bands and close all of these. So we're not at the top of the Bollinger Band. We've got a little support on the middle band. So yeah, there's still room. I feel it will be tackling these highs very soon, that 111k and 112k Bitcoin. It will need to break through that support, so there could potentially be, once it kind of gets up to this Bollinger Band tackling these levels, there could potentially be sideways momentum. Our full moon could pop in right here at the 0.888 buying zone and then propel us up further when it's time with that Sagittarius energy. Right, let's look on XRP and the Hizzy. I'm a little bit dissociative. I'm talking really fast, so I'm just going through this quite quickly. Support your girl if you like it. If it resonates, do like it, share. Even if you've got no one to share it with, just click the share button and YouTube's gonna think you're sharing it anyway, and promote my video to more people. Only if you feel it resonates and helps with you, then help other people. You know. But anyway, looking at XRP and the Hizzy. So what I said in my last video is we need to keep these zones, and we had gone lower than it because I'm sure we were like here. We have gone lower than it, but as you can see, we bounced up nicely. This alone is signaling to me bullish momentum, as we have created a higher low. So it's looking positive. It's looking all right. But like I said, when it comes to XRP, we do want to at least get into that golden pocket at $2.70 range. So that essentially is our target. If we can, of course, reach this zone, even better, but we want to get into that $2.70 for upward momentum, reaching into that golden pocket. And when we're at our 0.888 buying zone at what, $3.119. Can you two be kind to each other, please?
Did you have some juice?
I haven't had some of your juice, but I'm still recording a video, you two. Okay, thank you. Be kind, please.
But you can have some juice.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you so much.
Because you only got a tiny bit of the juice.
I've only got a little bit. Thank you, love. Thank you.
Because
So,
won't have love.
Yeah. So going back to XRP, it's looking good. Let's just look at the MACD anyway. The MACD, we are turning a little bit more green. We do want to see the moving averages on the MACD above. So, but it seems like it will do that. We may go up a bit green and maybe a tiny bit of red and then fully green. So we'll keep a lookout on that, especially as Bitcoin dominance starts to drop. Sometimes when the oh no, yes, one's crying. Oh dear. The RSI anyway, we've come quite low. Do we have any bullish diversions here? Not really. Not really. I feel when it comes to XRP and the altcoins, we just need the dominance of Bitcoin to kind of chill. So Bitcoin just needs to be reaching these type of levels, and I feel it will be. I do feel July and August will be bullish as heck. So we just have to wait it out. We just have to wait it out. I was anticipating more of a move in spring. That didn't happen a little bit, but not so much. So yeah, I am anticipating this summer to be explosive, and we could potentially get our last jump up at the end of the year going into the beginning of next, especially for altcoins, if Bitcoin wants to take the show for the end of the year. So I'm keeping that in mind. But again, I'm seeing when it comes to the bull run, the fact that we've got so much room up here, so much room in the overbought region, because we went so high. Like, how high did we go? 95 in the RSI. We've got an ample amount of room. So the fact that we've gone over the 50 on the RSI level is good. If anything, we could, it's going sideways a bit, but we could get our little tiny retracement back on the 50 RSI level, allowing time for this yellow moving average to catch up, giving it the support to move on into the higher regions of the RSI. So it's got a lot of room, and I don't know, essentially moving to the higher regions of the RSI will bring us closer to our all-time highs, and then when we're in this overbought region, we're heading on to new highs when it comes to XRP, such as this $4.50 region to even $6. Like, it could easily do that when it's ready, but is it ready right now? We don't know. But that's all in not hindsight, in foresight. We just want it to get back into the golden pocket. That's what we want right now. Okay. So we want it to hold these, like this area essentially, to be its support when our moon comes in. Like this zone, we want that to be our support. We've kind of come down, seems like, oh no, we're going down further, and then we just cling 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 propel on upwards. But let's take a look at some of these, see if it's changed since the last time we did it. I'm gonna hide the moons. I need help. So we're being supported by the 8 moving average right now, which is good. On our last video, we were underneath all of them. So this just tells me that we'll give it its momentum to eventually pass the 55. And once we pass the 200, then Bob's your uncle and Kofi's your auntie. So we just need to wait for that. But the 8 can definitely hold it to bring it up above that. So that's what we want. It's looking a little bit positive since our last cycle. And with the EMA ribbon, so looking better than SMAs, as we are holding this 200 nicely. And I did say in our last video, like, we could come down and the 200 could hold us, and it has done that. We wicked below it, but then we found support quite nicely on top of it. And now, as you can see, the EMA ribbons are coiling up. Unfortunately, we are underneath the red, which is the 8, but the yellow and the orange are underneath the price, so that could give it its support, and price gets above the 8 as it coils up, giving it the momentum to propel up higher. Looking at the these, we've got a lot of room to come and at least tackle these highs at $2.30 region. So will this happen on our full moon? We'll have to wait and see. I feel it will be so much more clarity when we reach on the 6th in our next video. But essentially that is what I am seeing for these charts for this cycle. 4 hour, we still got a bit of room to go on up. We're getting a bit of support, but we are underneath the 200. So this could be a good indicator when price gets, or is it underneath or sat right on it? It's very close to 200, but after a few 4 hours passes, we could definitely, that could give us the momentum and the propelling upwards as the rest of the EMA ribbons cross over the 200. That would give it a solid support. I do feel XRP may hover here a while, little bit of sideward action as it's building up that support for continuation. Like, yeah, could we go a bit lower to potentially here and then go up? Potentially, but the fact that we've had our support coming in at this zone, I feel that is very good anyway. So we just want to hold this. We don't really want to get lower than this $1.90. But don't be alarmed for any wicks anyway. But I am essentially going to just leave this video there. Do make sure you check out the calendar if you'd like all of that. Make sure you stick around. I'm going to go a little bit in depth when it comes to Lilith and Neptune station in retrograde and what that means in your personal life beyond crypto. So do stick around for that. Life was life in, and I missed my astrology video. Can I get it out today? I don't know. Shall we try? Potentially, I may go live tonight. So make sure you stick around, and thank you. Do subscribe if it resonates. Give a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy July. Angel out. Bye.